Hello everyone, welcome to my channel where we talk about the things we love like gaming, shows, and anime. Are you ready for some Mortal Kombat? Cause my ass is ready, so I hope you enjoy the crap out of these video game violence because there ain't no better gaming violence than Mortal Kombat. Today's list is on the best stage fatalities that ever killed. This list will not include death traps as those are best suited for their own list, and I know you'll be wanting more after getting through this list. But before we begin, I'd like to give a shout out to Dominic Wenig, Wi-Fi Mania, Logan Martini, or the Butter Mudkip, Saitoris Grease, Glenn Gaming, Mitchell Kit, and Siamese Cat. I hope you're all ready for some gruesome, bloody action because Mortal Kombat is about to begin. Number 10. The Pit 2. In Mortal Kombat 2, we were introduced to the Pit 2. This one was surprisingly less painful than the first. It was cool seeing the 3D effects as the loser fails, falling into his death. I dig it. But then it was reamped in Mortal Kombat 9, adding spikes. Kinda the same approach as the first Pit stage. I guess falling into a solid ground didn't seem too gory after all. Number 9. Deadpool. This green acid-filled stage is full of hanging hooks, and for what? Well, I'm sure you can all take a good guess and realize that this is clearly a torture room that is used as a Mortal Kombat stage whenever the tournament comes around. The acid works so fast that as soon as the victim lands on the acid pool, he or she will appear as their skeletal remains. The stage was reamped in Mortal Kombat 9, remaking it, and the acid works its way a little less quicker and showing you how painful it looks on the victims. Number 8. The Living Forest. The Living Forest is one of my all-time favorite stages. The Living Forest did not become a stage fatality in the beginning. In fact, it actually started off as a death trap in Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks. Then it worked its way to a stage fatality in Mortal Kombat 9. Was it worth the wait? Well, after all the fatalities we've witnessed, I don't think it was a surprise to see that the trees eat their victims. In my opinion, they should have took a different approach on the female characters and give it more of an Evil Dead type of kill. I'm kidding. A little. Number 7. The Pit. The original Pit stage. This is the perfect approach for a starter stage for all those newcomers with no knowledge of Mortal Kombat whatsoever. The stage looks frightening, and you know that if you are fighting against a computer, it will trigger the stage fatality. It almost never fails. In the original Mortal Kombat, all it took was an uppercut to land the stage fatality, so you better try your ass off to defeat your CPU opponent because one way or another, someone is gonna fall. Number 6. The Street. The Street stage I am referring to is the one from Mortal Kombat 9. It's a reamped version of the streets from Mortal Kombat 3, but that one did not have a stage fatality, which I was always wondering what would a stage fatality look like for this stage, and luckily they gave it to us in MK9. It's pretty plain and simple. You get hit by a car. But in Mortal Kombat physics, as soon as the character gets hit by the car, it crushes the skull of the victim and rips the head clean off. Now that's brutal. Number 5. The Pit 3. The Pit 3 is just as brutal as the first, but only this time it has spinning blades at the bottom. Makes you wonder what the hell were the architects thinking when they made this? Did they know what it was going to be used for? I'm sure Shao Kahn told them to make the best damn stage fatality they could think of, and after finishing it, surely he must have tested it out by tossing them into the pit. And off with their heads, and arms, and legs. Lots and lots of legs. Number 4. The Bell Tower. I first experienced this one in Mortal Kombat Trilogy, so it took me a while to observe the awesomeness of this stage. I wasn't even aware that this stage had a stage fatality for the longest time. It doesn't look like there are any dangerous surrounding things, so of course I never bothered to perform a stage fatality in it. But once I played against a tough CPU and it performed the stage fatality, I was surprised as hell. You break through the floorboards and continue to fall through many of them until you reach the bottom floor. with massive spikes. Now that I think about it, Mortal Kombat really loves spikes. It's like their personal trademark. I see them everywhere, even in stages like this one where there are no spikes on sight. Number 3, the Nether Realm. The Nether Realm is like hell, but one thing for sure, this is Scorpion's world. You don't want to mess with him in this world, or in any world whatsoever. If you lose, I'm sure you can guess what happens to your character. This one is a little too similar to the Deadpool stage, where the victim gets taken out with an uppercut and dipped into the pool of lava. But in Mortal Kombat 9, they also reamped this stage fatality, and this time the winner forces the opponent's face into the lava. It is so brutal. Number 2, the Subway. This is a kick-ass fatality. The stage alone kicks ass on both the original and the remake for Mortal Kombat 9, but we're not talking about the stage alone. We're only talking about the fatality. And how is it? Let's see. If you played the original version, you would already know that this stage involves a subway train, and it does in the most epic way imaginable for back then. You uppercut your opponent, smashing through the roof, then the opponent comes crashing back down, but this time he or she lands on the subway rails, and of course, the subway train appears like, surprise motherfucker! Now, the new version made in Mortal Kombat 9 was just as epic, only a little more gruesome. There is no uppercut, but there is brutality. Number 1, Chamber of the Flame. This is the best reason why we are grateful that Kratos is in the game, because thanks to that crossover, we got this stage and it takes the cake. You got 3 options on how you want to kill your opponent. All 3 are insane, and I know you will have plenty of fun trying them all out. One of them smashes the victim 3 times, the second one burns the flesh out of the victim, and the other one, well, it's pretty brutal. That's all I gotta say. In fact, all these stage fatalities are brutal, but you gotta love having options on how you want to kill your opponent. And don't feel bad for the character. That person knew what they were doing. They knew the consequences for participating on the tournament of Mortal Kombat. Just sit back, choose wisely, and enjoy humiliating your opponent, especially if you're playing online or with a friend. That's it for the top 10 list. I hope you enjoyed the video. If so, put a thumbs up. And if there are any more videos you would love to request, please let me know in the comments. Also, if you want to shout out a video request or you want to ask a question for the next Q&A video, I strongly recommend you post it on my Facebook page. And if you want to see more of my videos, be sure to hit the subscribe button. It really helps me out a lot. And I'll be sure to let you know when I post up more videos. This is Score saying, have an awesome, killer day.